Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick. Joining me equally always is Evan.
Hello!
Yeah, today we're going to be doing another Smash Pass, but this time it's a Smash Brothers Ultimate Fantasy DLC like we've done in the past, and this time it's a little bit different. But before we get too far into that, let's go to our time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. And do you have one for me today?
Okay, Rick, this is a long-winded one, so I apologise in advance.
Okay.
You, sir, are gifted with a guest role on any video game project, not retrospectively. What would you want the guest role to be for? How big of a role is it? And what is it in?
Ooh, if Deltarune had voice acting, I'd want to be in that, but it don't. So it has to be something that's in development right now. Can't be something that's already out.
It doesn't have to be in development right now. It could be a game that doesn't exist.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm just saying you can't go, I want to voice, I don't know, Sephiroth in Advent Children, the game, you know?
Yeah, I think actually just being a bit voice on a Toby Fox game would be great. Even better if I could be an actual main character voice, but you know,
it's a guest
it's
role,
me.
So
it's me. I'm a guest, so it's got to be Muffet at best.
Muffet's a pretty big deal.
She is, but she's one of those characters that was just added as a stretch goal that only certain people she was a donation tier character.
Yeah, I know the other donation tier character wasn't allowed in the final game.
He was edited and put out of the way, so if you put your date and time to a certain time, you can go fight him.
Okay.
And he does ruin your pacifist run if you kill him. So,
fun.
despite people trying to go, oh yeah, you can kill him and it's fine because he's not real. No, he actually does count because you do still get experience, I believe. Sorry, execution points. But yeah, how about you? What would your fantasy role in a as yet untitled game be?
Like in an ideal world, ideal situation, I'd make Garland, which for people who don't know, Garland is my default name for any character I make on Create a Character in games that have that option. I'd have him be a super secret optional guest unit in Fire Emblem, and I'd voice him.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the motivation for that question. How about you, Rick? Do you have one for me?
Yeah, my one for you is you get to ignore one of the rules for these Smash Passes that they have to have originated in a video game. Like, what would you pick for a Fantasy Smash Pass addition to this episode?
So add a character to Smash Bros, but there's no limitations.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's okay. I'll put in Lemmy Killmeister because fuck it, Lemmy is God. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only downside is you wouldn't be able to have him voiced.
No. Unless he went really far into known voice clips and cobbled something together.
I mean, the dude voices himself in Brutal Legend. You could probably pick out a few funny things from there, but it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
That's me at a clutch answer because I don't want to spend 10 minutes thinking. So I'm sure I could think of something more amusing. But yeah, you know, we don't want to spend 700 hours on the podcast just sitting and thinking. That's why we have cliff notes for our scripts. That being said, Rick, I assume you thought about this for a bit longer, so let's hear your answer.
Yeah, this was going to be my actual first pick of the episode proper, and it was going to be Mike Tyson because he was the final boss of Super Punch-Out opposite Little Mac.
Yeah, you see, do you know what's really, really funny to me is I was trying to find a Punch-Out character to put in, and I just couldn't find anyone interesting enough because the most interesting pick would be Mike Tyson. And technically speaking, it's his video game debut, but he's a real person, so It's like, I don't know, we'd have to fucking write to Sakurai and get an official verdict.
Yeah, does Mike Tyson count?
Does he have an email address you could publicly send questions to? Because I'm tempted.
Maybe. He's probably got a Twitter at least.
Oh yeah, but we're not big enough on Twitter to get a response. Plus, he probably tweets exclusively in Japanese.
Yeah. Plus, also, the last time someone talked about Mike Tyson to a Japanese person, it didn't go well.
I mean, are we talking about his arsehole?
Yeah, eating Mike Tyson's ass.
Wasn't it Corona? He goes, oh no!
Yeah. Because she falls for it 4 times out of 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rick, we've kind of alluded to it already, but do you want to elaborate and give the audience the rundown for the rules for today's episode?
Yeah, so the rules today, similar to before, we have to pick our 5 fighters for a fantasy DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate. The rule this time is that it has to be from a franchise that is already represented in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
So, for instance, Fire Emblem, you could have everyone from any Fire Emblem game, because that's treated as the same franchise. Like, we've all obviously already got Marth, Roy, Ike, and all of the new lords.
Yeah, the way I'd word it is literally you pick a rep from a series, because if you go on the Smash Bros. Ultimate website, they have an option to sort by series, and it sorts by series, not game. So, for example, Final Fantasy, even though they've only got Cloud and Sephiroth that are both Final Fantasy VII, it says the Final Fantasy series. So, yeah.
And a lot of the time, if you're adding a rival character, it helps that they're from a game that's like a specific game rather than a series that's already represented. But it's up to you. It's up to us. So, with that said, what is your first pick?
My first pick is a joke character that people used to throw around the internet for a long time, in that it used to be the meme whenever Smash reveals were going to be, it's so-and-so, but it wasn't really, because nobody really wants this character. But I want this character. It's Cranky Kong from the Donkey Kong series.
Oh, sweet! Yeah, I could see him working actually pretty well. Not least because he's a former Donkey Kong.
Exactly, man. People like to gloss over the fact that Cranky Kong's lore and backstory is he's the original Donkey Kong from the Jumpman games.
Yeah, he's the one that got Pauline.
Yeah.
Took her up a building and had Jumpman Mario.
Yeah.
Or Mario Jumpman. If man, what if he actually was just called Mario Jumpman, and that was like a fusion of like Italian and Jewish subcultures in New York?
Unfortunately, his name's Mario.
Yeah.
So, you know. But yeah, Cranky Kong, representing Donkey Kong Country, seeing as that was his debut as Cranky himself.
Sure.
We've got a bit more leeway nowadays, because in the most recent Donkey Kong Country game, the Tropical Freeze game, he's basically another option for character to use, so you can use Donkey, Diddy, Dixie, or Cranky. In the Switch version of the game, you could also use, I've forgotten his fucking name, but the racist Kong.
Yeah, that guy. He looks like a Giga Chad Kong, but like he's a prick.
It's one of those where like he looks like he'd be a cool surfer dude, but then he talks like a Rastafarian.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't talk like a Rastafarian. He sounds like a white dude putting on a voice, and therefore racist as fuck.
Yes.
But, hey-ho, diddly-do. His moveset would be pretty self-explanatory. His basic moves would just be him whacking people with a cane. You could do some goofy stuff with his specials. I haven't thought about it too long, but, like, I like the idea of, like, his up being he just spawns a barrel around himself and shoots himself straight up.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, people like to... Like, here's the thing. Ever since Sora got added, you can no longer complain about fantasy bullshit for getting back on the ledge, because apparently Sora is the most frustrating character to knock out.
Yeah, fair enough. I've not actually bought that DLC, so I don't have first-hand experience.
I've also not bought that DLC. I've also not played anyone playing as Sora, because I think it's considered bad online etiquette, which at the same time is like, fuck you, it's Smash Bros.
Man, I remember when the Dragon Quest hero was seen as being an incredibly strong character that people didn't want to play out of etiquette, and then Sora came along.
Listen, the way Disney works, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney was part of the negotiations and they said, we'll let you have Sora, but he has to be the strongest. Could you imagine?
Yeah. His weakest stat cannot be any lower than the highest stat anyone else has.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
He has everyone else's finishing moves as normal moves, the standard create a character trope from wrestling games.
I plead fifth. But dude, there was sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent. I can't remember which WWE game it was, but it was one of the recent ones where you could create a wrestler and just give them 99 in every stat, but you could use these wrestlers online, which means every time you played an online game, you never fought as wrestlers, you just fought as you create a wrestler, because otherwise you gimped yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Bullshit. Anyway, but yeah, there's all kinds of fun things you could do. I think his stage would have to be his hut.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with his hut. Did we get that far when we played the game on the stream?
Yes, you can just go left and it's there and he just like chats shit to you.
Yeah, so I want his hut to be in the background and just have like the stage littered with his garbage.
Yeah. What do you reckon for an Ultimate.
See, that's the one I've been umming and ahhing on, and I actually went to the internet for some assistance.
The thing that I thought of straight away was just that he uses some of his banana retirement fund, gets the other Kongs to fill in, and they just do the Ultimate for him while he just sits in his rocking chair.
That's pretty decent. However, here's one from the internet that I'm going to steal.
Okay.
He drinks some super banana juice, and he reverts into his old young form, OG Donkey Kong. He takes up the screen in the background and just smashes people with his fists.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I liked it as well. That's why I stole it. Thank you, internet. But yeah, I think Cranky Kong is a strong contender for first pick. But let's hear what your first pick is, Rick. Who have you got and where are they from?
Well, my first pick, and this is probably about as predictable as it could be, I'm going to go with Dr. Robotnik. We want a Sonic villain. We want another Sonic person in there. We've got so many Mario people. I think it's about time to have the good Doctor.
I had a suspicion you were going to go for Dr. Eggman. I didn't think he'd be your opening gambit, but here we are.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first one I put on my list for good reason. I already thought that he'd make a very good Echo Fighter of Baby Bowser, or Bowser Jr., sorry. But with him having his own moveset, he doesn't have to conform to that quite so rigidly. Most of his attacks would be boss weapons that he has when he shows up as a boss in the 2D games.
Yeah.
The ultimate would probably just be call in a blast from the Death Egg, which is just the Death Star, but with the serial numbers filed off, and it would be just like a lot more piddly than normal.
I think a more fun one for him, and I'm not trying to step on your toes here, would be just him summoning the Egg Emperor for 2 minutes.
Yeah, to call down one of his giant self robots.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Egg Emperor, the Egg Dragoon, the Death Egg robot.
Do you know what would be really fun is if they did actually bother to just put an RNG mechanic in and it's like it changes each time you use it.
Yeah, or you get a different one based on which costume you have.
True. That'd probably be a better way of doing it. Have you given any thought to a stage at all?
I think the Death Egg itself is actually a pretty good stage for this. However, I think the Chemical Plant Zone is also so incredibly iconic as an alternative to Sonic stuff, because it's like, the sooner you get a level that's not Green Hill.
No, I know what you mean, because every single Sonic game has to start with its Green Hill fucking version, and yeah, it's iconic, but fuck off.
Yeah. So you start with Green Hill, Emerald Hill. Like, I think the furthest away from Green Hill they've got is Palm Tree Panic, and that's still got the Green Hill color palette.
Yeah.
But then, even then, if you look in the background of Green Hill, there's a beach, so it's not that far removed. And yeah, so I think Chemical Plant is the biggest diversion from Green Hill, because normally you start and you go somewhere else, like Hydro City or the Marble Zone, which is just lava.
I'll tell you what would actually might make a good stage for Eggman, because I always think it's one of the most iconic levels in each Sonic game.
Go ahead.
The casino.
Oh yeah, the casino's a pretty good one. Actually, here's the one. You could just expand it to Eggman Land, because he's been trying to build a theme park for like the past 20 games. Like, I'm not even kidding. He's kind of given up on world domination. He just wants his theme park.
And Sonic's like, no, can't even let him have this.
Oh yeah, because he knows what a bad boss he is. Like, Sonic Colors, I think, is the one where he actually does build his theme park. He builds it in space because he can't get permission to build it on land. And
Jesus. Eggman wasn't beaten by Sonic at the end of the day. Eggman was beaten by zoning laws.
Yeah. I guess like you say, the Final Smash being one of his final boss robots is a much better idea than just a Death Egg blast. But yeah, who's your number 2?
My number 2 is representing the long-laboured and long-disputed Kingdom Hearts series.
Oh yes,
we have Aqua.
Okay.
She debuted in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I never played that game. However, every time they mention Aqua, it's like, she seems like quite a badass, and you get to play as her for a moment in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I played Birth by Sleep for about
cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah, about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, it was cool, but I also didn't know that much Kingdom Hearts lore. Apparently, it's one of the better ones to start with because it's like one of the furthest ones in the past. But
I mean, the best one to start with is Kingdom Hearts 1, but whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is everything after Kingdom Hearts 1 in and of itself is bollocks. But it was bollocks around when I was the age of 10, so it was fun.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 2 came out relatively shortly after Kingdom Hearts 1, so it was like, cool, this is still keeping my interest. And then we had to wait 20 years for Kingdom Hearts 3, because fuck you, I'm not buying a PS Vita.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, the 14th entry in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, or whatever it's stupid was.
Fucking hell. Yeah, like, because every game they introduced in between had weird suffixes and dealt with some... interesting stuff from a certain point of view, but it's still bollocks, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Basically, the glut of Kingdom Hearts games that expanded on the lore to make it stupider is what stopped me from ever getting into Kingdom Hearts.
Right, man. And also, anyone who's not familiar with Kingdom Hearts, and fuck it, there's probably plenty of people, even if you're 18, let's say you're 18 today, you would have been born 5 or 6 years after Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
anyway,
totally.
it's one of those where, if you're not familiar, for real, look up the timeline of the consoles Kingdom Hearts games have been on, because you go PS2, Game Boy Advance, and then it gets weirder. Including not one but 2 exclusive mobile games that no one in the West ever had a chance to play, and were so poor they didn't even bother putting it in the collection. They put it in the collection as a series of cutscenes, and guess what? It was Kingdom Hearts 1 again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, tangent aside, Akra's a cool looking character. In the lore, she gets trapped in the world of darkness for infinite amount of time because Kingdom Hearts is inconsistent. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's pretty cool in her own right. She's got her a distinct moveset from Sora in that she relies a lot more on speedy attacks.
Yeah, she's an agility fighter rather than a jack of all stats.
Yeah. So I'd honestly just take Sora's moveset, turn the frames up a bit, make her less able to recover from being knocked off the side of the stage, etc.
Okay.
As for a final smash, I don't know what I'd do for a final smash because, again, I'm not all too familiar with the character apart from what she did in Kingdom Hearts 3. So with that as a basis, I'd have her summon in Terra and the fuckhead who's not Roxas or Sora but looks exactly like them.
I think it's Vent or Ventus or something. Apparently those are different characters.
I don't know. It's not Sora, it's not Roxas, but it looks exactly the same because they need to keep that design to rope in the kids.
Yeah, he's a Sora-like, yeah.
So they'd do like a Three Musketeer type thing. And boring, yes, but I think it would make fans flip their shit, so fuck it. That's what Smash Bros. Is about.
Yeah, tangent, I did have Xehanort put down.
Oh, okay.
And I think he debuted as himself in the same game.
Xehanort would have debuted in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Was he debuted as Xehanort, or was he just like Ansem the Wise or something like that?
He was... Okay. Which Xehanort are we talking about? Are we talking about the bald one, or...
Well, I'm assuming the bald one, although I do know retroactively the other one is him.
Right, okay, so the bald one is Xehanort, and yes, he debuted in Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
But I also don't think he'd be a good character to play as. I think the other version of Xehanort would be better.
Yeah, the reason I've not got him as a real pick is because I don't know enough about Kingdom Hearts to give him moves or a stage.
I've got a shock fucking revelation for you.
Yeah, he's got his Organization 13 house.
That's not even... You're not even talking about the same Xehanort.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the villains in Kingdom Hearts. They can't keep their story straight for more than a game. Sometimes not even half a game. Oh, the stage would be World of Darkness. Rick, who's your second pick?
Yeah. My second pick is from Castlevania. I'm picking Alucard.
Oh, so he's getting an upgrade, is he?
Yeah, he's getting an upgrade from assist trophy to actual character because, I don't know about you, but I think he's a much more compelling character than just the next Belmont. Because we've had Belmonts already.
I do think that Alucard got done dirty. However, I also accept that this is the first game where Castlevania had representatives, so of course you're going to go for Simon.
Yeah, so you went for Simon Belmont, of course you're going to do. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't think putting Dracula in was the correct choice, so I didn't.
I mean, he's a boss.
So split the difference and went with Alucard. He's got a lot of different moves that are like monster moves, but also different weapons, which is something that Simon Belmont doesn't have outside of things that you pick up as sub-weapons. Mm-hmm. So with Alucard, you can just pick up a greatsword and start swinging that.
I'd rather keep him a pure rapier user.
Yeah, he does look better with that. Maybe one of his moves, he pulls out a different weapon.
Oh, no. Don't get me... Yeah, you could do that, but I'd rather enhance his magical aspect.
Yeah, A moves for rapier. The one where he turns into a bat or reverses gravity for his recovery. The up B. And I think the ulti... Man, I had this a moment ago. Shit.
I can't help you because I only know... I've not played a Castlevania game, guys. Hand on heart, honest to God. But I have watched the Netflix series. Actually, not even all of the Netflix series, just the first 2 seasons. I need to pull my finger out.
That was it. Alucard is known as the first of the Castlevania protagonists to fight a mimic, so I would have him summon his mimic, and that you just got 2 Alucards for a short amount of time.
Yeah, the Ponty Sullivan method.
Yeah. But yeah, well, also the Ice Climber's Way.
Yeah, but doesn't the second Ice Climber not actually do anything?
It does damage. It does damage, and it increases the value of the Ice Climber kit, because they can grapple off each other and get more height that way. But
they need it because they're fucking tiny.
Yeah, they can both have weapons, and they can both do smashes and do double the damage at once. And like both of their moves come out. The second one follows the input of the first, whether or not that means they do the correct move. So they might pick up an item and start blasting away with the Zapper Blaster while you're trying to charge a smash move.
Okay.
So I think that would work pretty well as an ulti that goes away after a little while.
Sure.
Obviously the castle. Yeah, Dracula's castle. We've got that a bit with Simon and Richter.
We haven't got it a bit. We got it a lot.
Yeah, we got it a lot. Knowing that we already have the castle, I'd probably pick the big spooky haunted forest outside his house.
Okay, I'm not familiar, so go for it.
Well, there's often a big spooky forest zone. Even if it's just a lead up to getting into the castle, it's normally the warm up area for most beginning of Castlevania games. And maybe as a stage hazard, some of the more basic bitch enemies just pop out all the time.
Kind of pretty much the exact same deal as the castle itself then.
Yeah. And nothing could be more annoying than that frickin' Dr. Wily stage where that one massive thing just keeps popping up and going to the other side, and it kills everyone that touches it. But yeah, how about you? What is number 3?
Number 3 is representing that much loathed in the Smash community, the Fire Emblem series.
Oh.
His debut was in Fire Emblem Blazing Blade, aka Fire Emblem 7, at least as a playable character. He was in the one that came beforehand, but fuck that one. It's Hector.
Yeah, I was doing his cheer in my head and like pumping my fist waiting for him to come up. Hector.
Yeah, man.
I'm so glad he was the one that got added in the Engage DLC and not Elliewood.
They already got Roy, so it'd be a bit of a...
Yeah, he's just a Roy reskin.
But yeah, it's one of those where I got hyped that Hector was in the base game, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was in fact Ike, because Ike is the only other powerful fucking Emblem user they've ever had.
Yeah, and they've just like retroactively made him buff to make him different to Marth.
Yeah, don't even get me started. Anyway, of course I picked Hector, despite never playing Blazing Blade, which if there's a remake or ever is a remake, I probably will hop on that. One that adds the mode that doesn't matter, means it doesn't matter if you lose a unit on a map. I'd play that in a heartbeat. But yeah, of course I'm picking Hector. Hector is awesome. I got him really early on in Fire Emblem. Rick, you know the game name?
Heroes.
And I was like, this guy's fucking cool. Oh, cool. He can eat bullets like a champ.
Oh, yeah, and he can throw his axe.
Yeah, he can. He's awesome. I want to see this guy in the game. Yes, he's another Fire Emblem dude, but fuck you, he uses an axe. That's totally different, right?
Yeah, he's an axe armor rather than a infantry sword.
Yeah. I think the only person close is Byleth whenever they use their axe move, but even then, they're not heavy.
We don't have an axe-wielding maniac in Fire Emblem. Not in Fire Emblem. We don't have an axe-wielding maniac in Smash Bros. Yet.
No.
And, Hector's not a maniac, but he very much is axe-wielding. Like, even in Heroes, like, when there's a Valentine's event, everyone else comes with, like, a fresh new weapon to, like, be a Valentine's character. They ask Hector, what did you bring? And he just goes, Armads. That's the name of his axe.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd probably have him put in the same heavy category as Ganondorf. Like, he walks slow, but he makes up for it by fucking hitting hard.
Yes, totally.
Like,
totally.
Absolutely. Like, I can already see his down special being just making a little mini earthquake in front of him.
Yeah.
And, there's all sorts of weird, unique moves that you can give him from the Fire Emblem series. I'm failing at thinking of one off the top of my head. Obviously, up A will be, or right A would be throwing his axe, as you say. And, you could give him Soul or Luna if you wanted to, because you can give those weird abilities to Lord units.
Yeah.
And yeah, just generally a fun time. One of his reskins would definitely be his Old Man mode.
Yeah, because he shows up in the next game for a very short amount of time before he dies.
Again, previous game.
Oh, yeah. It's previous game that's in the future.
Yeah, don't even start, Rick. It's stupid. You're right. He's got a big dumb blue beard. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like that. What would you do for his ulti? Would you bring in Elliewood and Lynn?
I've already done that for Aqua, so I want to think of something a bit different. I think he'd just go ham with the axe.
Sure.
Like, I think he'd just go, enough playing around or some shit, and grab someone by the throat and then do just a bunch of rapid flurries, but it ends with an uppercut, so there's a good chance of it knocking out the opponent straight away.
Yeah, totally.
Bit basic bitch, but no offense to Hector, that's kind of his gimmick. He does one thing and he does it well.
True enough.
But yeah, I think Fire Emblem getting another rep, as much bemoaned as it is by the Smash community, ain't no bad thing. What about you, Rick? Do you have a third pick for me?
Well, I said Mike Tyson in the opening, so let's go with someone who was based on him, the Mighty Bison.
The Mighty Bison?
Yeah, M. Bison from Street Fighter.
This is interesting. This is very interesting. I didn't know M stood for mighty.
Yeah, apparently it is just Mighty Bison. So the actual character in Japanese that's based on Mike Tyson is a different character.
Yeah, it's Balrog.
Yeah, it's Balrog. So M. Bison is Balrog in Japanese, but I'm going with M. Bison as we know him because A, he's the villain from Street Fighter, and B, like, we're lacking villains and we're lacking good villains, and I think he's a very good addition to the Smash Brothers roster because he's more than just a Ryu clone like Ken is.
Yeah, like, making a big deal about Ken getting into Smash was such a weird thing to me looking in, because not only was it an Echo Fighter, he's also an Echo Fighter in his own fucking game.
Yes, like he got Luigi-fied like pretty early on, and actually got his own moves and his own his own like takes on the same moves.
Well, I was gonna say, don't forget, Ken is canonically stronger than Ryu.
Yes.
People like to forget about that. Well, until the most recent game, which is, I don't know if it's out or it's coming out soon, but like
6, yeah.
Yeah, Ken's a hobo now.
Yeah.
Which, like,
he's still hench.
Yeah, he's still hench, but it's like he's given up on life and kind of wants to kill himself. And I'm like, what have you done to Ken, guys? Like, his wife left him and shit. And I'm like, why are you doing this to Ken? Anyway, go on, sorry.
I thought about other Street Fighter characters, like Balrog being Ryu's actual rival for the longest time.
You're thinking of Sagat.
Oh yeah, Sagat is the rival. Yeah, Sagat, who wasn't playable for a long time. Vega is just a Wolverine clone.
That's a real disservice to Wolverine.
Cammy and Chun-Li for the token girls.
Well,
obviously Cammy didn't come until later.
Rick, I've got some news for you, because I'm actually going to change one of my picks after this, because my next pick was going to be Chun-Li.
Okay.
So I don't think it would be right, both of us putting in a Street Fighter character.
Oh, we totally can. But yeah, if you want to save it for next time, you can. I thought about those, and I thought, why pass over all those for M. Bison in our first existing franchises pack? And yeah, he's got his normal moves, and I think his ulti would be Psycho Crusher.
Yeah!
Because why wouldn't it be? And yeah, his stage
would be his stage.
Yeah, his stage would be his stage. I remember when I first had Street Fighter, I had it on the Amiga. And
alright, show your age, old man.
It was on like 4 floppy disks. Each disk had all the fighters on it, but you had to change disks to go to different stages around the world because they couldn't fit both the fighters and the stages on the disc.
Yeah, you told me this. In fact, I think you told this story on a podcast at least twice.
Maybe so. But yeah, who is your number 4?
Well, my number 4 was going to be Chun-Li, but she'll get relegated to another time, perhaps, if I remember. So instead of a representative from Street Fighter, as we already have one, we've got a representative from the Final Fantasy series.
Okay.
It's a representative for Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
It's Yuna/Velafor.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I think that's a much better pick than Tidus.
Tidus sucks.
Yeah.
The game is from Tidus's perspective, and Tidus even goes, this is my story, but it's not Tidus's story, it's Yuna's story.
Yeah, he's a supporting character in his own game.
Well, again,
best.
Again, the game frames the story as his story, but anyone with, more than 2 brain cells can piece together it's not his story.
Yeah, it's his take on Yuna's journey.
Pretty much, man. Like, it takes a sadly long time for him to learn that Yuna's going to die at the end.
Yeah, because the rest of his party members just don't have the conversation.
Well, it's like, when it gets eventually revealed, Waka straight up goes, we weren't hiding it, it was just too painful to say. And it's like, you saw Tidus say to Yuna multiple times, let's come back and look at this, and didn't think to take 2 seconds to, like, take it to one side and go, listen, bro, stop doing that.
Man, you'd think Auron would just take him to one side and just give him the hard truth, because because, Auron is the one that don't mince words.
Yeah, but, okay, listen, here's the unfortunate thing is, I've been playing Final Fantasy X in my off time. I've just beaten Yunalesca, and I get reminded just how Auron puts on an aura of being an old and wise man, but he's really not.
Yeah, he's like 22, and he chose how his ghost looks because he can.
No, it's not even that, what I'm talking about. I mean, he's literally, he is about 40, to be fair, if you count his 10 years in death, but, he was never a mature individual. He put on airs.
Yeah, he died young, and the only way that he matured since then is just by having perspective as a ghost.
But anyway, why do I say Yuna/Valefor? Well, because the fighter's going to be Yuna, but the fighter's actually Valefor. Like Valefor, like Pokemon Trainer.
Oh yeah, you put her in the background, and then the beast does all the work.
Even though Yuna's a fucking beast of a black mage, if you bother going down that route.
Yeah, because other than that, she's a healer.
yeah. But yeah, Valefor would be the fighter for sure.
Speaking of, would you have some healing in her kit?
Nah.
Fair enough.
The fighter is going to be Valefor, so it's Valefor who gets the move pool.
Sure.
So again, it'll be. I think I'd do a bit of a cheeky and have this side B being, depending on what order it's in, being whether it's a fire, thunder, or ice spell or water.
Sure.
Up is obviously going to be a move that involves flapping the wings. I think the biggest downside with Valefor is going to be quite a big fighter, but at the same time, you could make Valefor the same size as Ridley.
Yeah, I was going to say, anything that can get the Ridley treatment should get the Ridley treatment.
Yeah. Down would probably be a special grab.
Yeah.
Where you slam someone into the floor. I don't think I need to even say what the fucking finish is going to be. It's going to be the overdrive.
Yeah, totally. The draw a laser on the ground and everything just goes, oh no.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's literally just called Energy Blast.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a fair few moves, there's Gale Wings, laser.
That's just a regular move, the Gale Wings.
Yeah.
Gale Wings should actually probably be the down special rather than a grab.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because obviously grab is just another thing that everyone has.
Yeah. I would have the stage 100% be Besaid.
Yes. Besaid Village.
I'd probably have it be the beach, to be honest, but Village works as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, it could be a big one, or the camera moves and then you have to do some jumps and you get from beach to village and then back down to the beach.
Yeah, but that's just nicking the new Donk City with fucking gimmick, innit?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that do that, but yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? I hate it.
Okay.
I like the stage to be pretty and static.
Sure.
Yes, I'm one of those. Fuck off. Yeah, that's my fourth pick. Let's hear your penultimate pick, Rick.
My number 4 is going to be a Pokemon representative.
Well, fuck you then.
I'm picking Meowscarada.
Well, fuck you then.
We've had the other /dark starters. We've had the water one, Greninja. We've had the fire one, Incineroar. I think Meowscarada is a good third option to those two.
However, I'll counter with it's another fucking cat thing. Listen, people bitch about Fire Emblem having so many representatives. Pokemon has more.
Yeah, Pokemon has 2 X/dark cat people just as starters. But yeah, I think it would be a cool addition, and it's not, and it's already a magician, so it could already fight a little bit like Zelda does. Zelda being actually one of my favorite normal fighters in Smash. And yeah, the final Smash would most likely be the gimmick of Paldea going Terra and being like Terra Grass and having just stronger moves for the amount of time.
Has any Pokemon ever had a fucking ultimate that's just I make you more powerful for 2 minutes? I don't think I'm familiar. I haven't seen everyone's final Smash, but isn't it usually like a one and done?
Not for 2 minutes. The closest thing is Wario.
Yeah, you'll have to explain. I'm asking.
Yeah, Wario's got Wario Man. He just becomes more powerful until Wario Man goes away.
Oh, that's shit.
Oh yes, do not fart while you're... oh no, it's not fart. It's do not use the motorbike while you're Wario Man. You will go off the stage.
Yeah, but you could say that about Little Mac's fucking side B.
Yeah. But yeah, Meowscarada is the pick. I would pick Area 0 as the stage.
Which bit?
The bottom bit, because the top bit is just... kind of grassy.
No, but I mean, do you mean the rocky bit, or do you mean the bit where you fight the final story battle?
I would make it the crystally bit outside of the final lab.
Yep, sure. Have Miraidon in the background doing scary roars.
Yeah. Both of them, Koraidon and Miraidon, having a turf war. So, yes, who is going to be your final pick for today?
Well, Rick, it would be a sin if we didn't have a representative from the Mario series. It would be an even bigger sin not to cave into those demands, Sakurai. it's Waluigi from the Mario series.
Yeah, this was also on my list. Spoiler, we made bigger lists than we are giving today.
By the by, I was being entirely jokey when I was saying "fuck you, Sakurai," because that man moved heaven and earth to make Smash Ultimate possibly one of the most people-pleasing games in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Gone.
A lot of the characters from different franchises, they needed a lot of concessions to reappear. Like Snake being dropped from Smash 4 was because they didn't have the license, and now he's back, for instance.
And never mind that, again, legal hell to get Sora into Smash.
Yes.
And they knew that people wanted Sora above all else, because what was the fucking Smash intro phrase when Sora got introduced?
I can't remember.
Sora is finally here.
Yeah.
So, on one hand, it's like, yeah, we listen, we know you've wanted it, here they are. It's also like, can you shut the fuck up now? But yeah, Waluigi obviously debuted in Mario Tennis. I think Waluigi is a great pick for Smash, not least of all because Waluigi is pretty much in every Mario game that isn't a mainline Mario game.
Yes.
Like, people always put Waluigi and Wario in the same camp as, evil antagonists, but then you look at the games that Waluigi's been in, and it's basically just like, hey, we're playing football, who wants in? And Waluigi's like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, Waluigi's up for anything. Like, apart from the fact that he's very obviously a bit creepy, he actually seems like a pretty good mate to have.
Like, for real, like, he doesn't get involved in politics, he doesn't fight Bowser, he also doesn't fight Mario. He's just like, you guys are playing tennis? I'll get my racket.
Yeah, he's Switzerland in lanky, not Mario form.
Wow, I wouldn't go that far, because Switzerland's borderline evil. But, it's one of those where, like, Waluigi is just a guy Wario knows, and Wario's like, yeah, listen, we need, like, 8 guys, otherwise they won't let us have the Mario Kart track for the day, you're gonna come along? And Waluigi's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waluigi's just a good guy.
Yeah.
But, I think his moveset would be self-explanatory. His side B could be him kicking a football, a la Mario Strikers. His up B could be... I don't know what his up B could be. I don't know, maybe giving himself a bit of a boost with a jump. Maybe have, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like the hang glider things you have in Mario Kart nowadays to go over gaps.
Yeah. Was he in Mario Hoops?
He's been in every Mario spin-off.
Like, doing a jump and power spike with a basketball might be a good up B.
Well, there we go. We'll do that then. Down B. I kind of like that. His assist trophy is him just getting on a little moped and being a dick.
Yeah,
like that, but lasting a lot less time.
He takes the moped to where you are and then starts stomping on you.
Yeah. And his legs are bigger than the moped.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's like Link in Mario Kart as well. Like, he's so tall, like his knees just pop out.
Yeah, but didn't they also be super weird and make Breath of the Wild Link be the Link representative?
Yeah.
Which looks so weird compared to the rest of the Mario art style.
Yeah, because he's got the Link cycle as well, don't he?
Oh, fuck off with that shit. Anyway, I don't know what his final Smash would be. I think you could probably do something fun Mario Party related, like rolling some big dice, and depending on what the dice roll, depends on what the move is.
Oh, I like that.
But
man, it'd be even better if it was playing stock and he rolls a dice and he just like steals a stock from someone. Like
that would be in the spirit of Mario Party, but I think that would infuriate too many players.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mario Party, we'll definitely have a Mario Party board as the stage.
Yes, totally agree. Hard agree.
But yeah, there we go. I think we both agreed that Waluigi needed to get in there somewhere. And again, Mario series, not Wario series. And yeah, okay, Rick, it's up to you. You've got the ultimate decision of deciding the final entry into our Fantasy Smash roster.
My final one is from the Persona series. It is Aegis.
Oh, Persona 3.
Yeah. So Persona 3 has recently been re-released as the portable version on multiple platforms. So I think it's only right that in true Smash Bros. Fashion, it advertises a marketable character from the most recent one to be released. So yeah, Aegis is a great character for this, I believe, because she's so much different to Joker. She's not just like pistol and knife like Naoto would be, who would be my second pick for this. And she also has personas. She can have multiple personas, but obviously with Joker having his own two, yeah, she'd probably just stick with the regular one. And yeah, just robot girl doing robot things, and her stage would be Tartarus, which is very similar to the Metaverse, but it goes up and down. It goes up rather than down.
Yeah, I feel you. It's one of those where one of the concessions that they made with the Persona 5 inclusion was the stage would be either blue or yellow instead of just red, because it's like, oh, it's basically the same thing. mean, it fucking ain't, but it's a concession you guys made, and we appreciate it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's no longer needed now that we've got a fantasy second representative.
Yeah.
So Aegis can have Tartarus because you spend most of your game in Tartarus. And that can retroactively make Jokers into, say, Size Palace is a good one because that's how the game opens.
Nah, you don't need to change Mementos. It's just take out the blue option.
Sure.
Patch notes: Joker stage no longer turns blue.
Blue is banned. Oh, by the same token, like, I wouldn't be averse to having Naoto in there, and just removing yellow and just Mementos is always red. But, you know, like I say, I thought Naoto was less of an interesting fighter in the Smash way. Obviously, she's got her 2D fighter moveset when she's in Ultimax.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Like, I like Naoto, but I don't think she's the best representative from Persona 4. If you're going to go Persona 4, you'd have to either go Yuna Akami or Teddy.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Teddy is possibly the most iconic of the mascot characters as well. I think that's about it from today.
Almost. You may have forgotten, Rick, and I don't blame you, but at the end of our Smash episodes, what we usually like to do is just the two of us will look at each other's list and say which one from the other person's list we would most like to see in Smash.
Yeah, fair enough. I really liked your Cranky Kong pitch. Not least because it gives other Kongs a way to get in there without having to be their own characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy with Cranky Kong from your side. How about you? What would you pick from my guys?
I'm a little bit torn, but I'm going to lean towards M. Bison.
Yeah, the mighty Bison.
Like, for real, man. Like, I think it was literally the point you made of there aren't enough villains in this game.
Yeah, I think like the only villain that came in a DLC was Sephiroth.
Is all I can say to that, really, because maybe so. But you got to bear in mind, Ultimate introduced the best villain, and that was K. Rool.
Yes. Unless you're going by being a good boss villain, and then it's King Dedede, because he's actually a good guy. He's just a bit greedy.
I was going to say, King Dedede isn't really a villain, though, is he? He has more face turns than fucking, I don't know, Clock.
Yeah.
That was a shit one, but you know.
Than a clock.
Listen. I was on the spot. I was trying to think of something witty, and what has a face? Clock has a face. Fuck it. We went with Clock, the worst possible option. Got more faces in a mask shop. There. Does that help? Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine. To be honest, I'm fine with Clock. It just tickled me.
Oh. I feel belittled and ashamed.
But yeah, that's it from us today. If you like the episode, you've got the comment section down below on YouTube. If you're listening via one of the many audio platforms, you can send us an email, which would go to
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. I promise I'm not trying to sound bored, I'm just trying to enunciate.
And yeah, you've always got us on Twitter and all that as always. So thank you very much for listening. If you've made it this far, as always, you are our favourite people, and it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me too. Don't forget to drop down in the bottom of those comments what fighter you'd most like to see in Smash, because, you know, the size of the pool of people we can choose from is growing ever smaller, much to Sakurai's credit.
See you later, guys.